welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel, whichever one applies to you. I'm Becky. This is More Than Borderline, and I have not filmed this week, and pointing that out because I know that I was supposed to drop something on Monday and Tuesday, and it sucks that I haven't been consistent, but I also think that it really goes hand in hand with this being about having mental illness, right? Because the reality is that when you do have borderline and when you do have ADHD, it doesn't define me, as I've said before, but I'm not going to say it doesn't affect me. There are things that happened. I went upstairs to film on Tuesday. When I went upstairs, my whole bathroom was flooded. And so it wasn't like there wasn't things going on that interfered with me filming. I've thought about filming every single day, but I've also been having a hard week. And there are times where I just feel like I should be positive, or like, why say something that's not uplifting? But I need to get out of that headset, because I've already said before that I really want to be transparent. So if I'm having a bad Monday or a bad Tuesday, I should post and share that struggle is happening. So hopefully I will start to do that. This Friday, I was really thinking about that desire to be with God, and what that looks like and what it should look like or could look like. I was thinking about the fact that, like, when you're in a relationship with somebody, let's say you're married, let's say, you know, you're dating somebody, when you're in a committed relationship, which is what our relationship with God is supposed to be, right? It's a commitment. We're doing life together. Like, we don't forget to talk to our spouse. We don't forget to, you know, eat. Well, sometimes I actually do forget to eat, but you know, there's things that need to be done, and for the most part, we make sure that we get them done because it's a priority. And I feel like there were so many times in my life where I just got further and further away from God, but it was because He was not a priority to me. I didn't wake up in the morning and just talk to God and instantly thank Him for my day and make sure that I'm making Him my priority and spend time with Him like I do my loved ones, right? I would try to fit Him in, or He would be relegated to church or church services, or, you know, a few times a week if I could find the time. And that's crazy. Like, I think for those of us who say that we believe, it's one thing to say you believe in God. I'm sorry, I've said before, it doesn't mean anything. Satan believes in God. The demons believe in God. That doesn't mean anything at all. But to believe that Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life, and that God has your best intentions at heart, and that drawing near to Him is where you're going to get peace. That's where you're going to get patience. That's where you're going to get your joy from. I feel like if we believe that then you really are drawn to that. You don't forget that, because you need that peace, you need that patience, you need that joy, right? I don't think I said the word patience, but you know what I mean. And so for a lot of us, I feel like life gets overwhelmed and we're struggling, and we're like, we just have too much going on to spend time with God. That's why your life is so hard, because we're not spending enough time with God. We're forgetting that all of this is temporary. All of this is a distraction from the reality that there's nothing more important than spending time at the feet of Jesus. Nothing. And if He is what we claim for Him to be, then we would look forward to that because of what we get out of that. But I think that for a lot of people, reading the Bible is like boring, or it's a chore. You don't understand it. And that's why we have the tools we have now, right? We have the Bible Project. We have the apps that help you read, not only read through the Bible in the year, that really break down the history, what was going on, who was writing it, why he was writing it, who he was writing it to, how that could still apply to your life, what parts don't necessarily still apply to your life, because you're not in ancient Hebrew, like, I mean, Israel, like, or Turkey, or wherever it was at the time. But I do think that if we believe that God, as our creator, not only knows what's best for us, wants what's best for us, and then we trust him in that, that we would seek his face so we could seek his will, so we could understand who he is, so we can understand who we are. And as we get closer to him, our desires transform to his, and he fulfills that emptiness and that longing in us that we all have as people. It does not mean that you're not going to have hard days, that you're not going to face disappointment, that you're not going to have that stuff going on. But it does mean that you will recognize it as being not normal, as being not something that, you know, is going to be forever, that is temporary, and that you know that the Spirit of God who has come to live in you has so much more for you than even what you could think you want from this world. So I want to encourage you today, if you claim to be a follower of God, to know that you cannot do that without being plugged into God, right? Like, I could believe that there's electricity in my house, but if nothing is plugged into it, that doesn't matter. It's not going to light nothing up. And so if God is the vine and we are to be plugged into him to produce the fruit of peace, of joy, of patience, loving thy neighbor as thyself, of all these things that that can transform not only your life and your world, but the world around you, then I challenge you to make him a priority. And if life is just sucks right now and you can't find time for him, it's gonna suck. Because we don't wait to get better and then fit God in. That's not how that works. Life is better the more God that we have. And so for those of you who follow this channel who aren't Christians, you probably think I sound crazy. But I think you could understand the relationship part when you're in a relationship with somebody. Like, for instance, people with borderline have a favorite person. And that person is like a drug to you. That person could be like a high to you. If God was that person for us, he's not going to leave us. He's not going to disappoint us. It's the best case scenario for all of us, for God to be our favorite person. You know what I mean? So I guess that's what I was thinking about today. I'm hoping to film more next week. I really want to just film even when I look like crap, feel like crap, and just be completely honest and transparent with that, because it is important to know that tomorrow is another day. And joy does come in the morning, because I do get up and spend time with God. And yes, things happen throughout the day that can affect that. You know, the wind blows, the storms come and go, and they can affect you, but they don't ultimately need to affect who you are. They can make you a stronger person. They could have you prepare for them in advance. We know the storms are coming, so what do? People put the sandbags up, you board up your windows. There are things to do, which is what the armor of God is all about. Put on that full armor. Is it heavy? Good. It should be, because when the enemy comes at you, it needs to be able to protect you. Put your armor on. Spend time with the Lord. Spend time getting to really know him on a whole nother level, to where nobody needs to even remind you that you need to do that, because inside, that's the first thing you want to do. So I just challenge you to do that, not because I think I'm better than anybody. I've said before, the reason I do it is because I don't know what I would do without him. I don't know how my days would be if I didn't. I have done this without God. I have walked away from him. I have looked into everything the world has to offer. There's nothing I haven't looked into. And it was all empty. And it was all temporary highs that made you lower than where you started. But God has not disappointed. So I challenge you today, try to be a better person today than you were yesterday. And try to be a better person tomorrow than you were today. And I just pray that you find the little things to be grateful for. If you don't see any big things right now, because they're there, most importantly, God is there. So reach out. I'll see you guys next time. God bless.